Handy Nada, thank you for your time. You are co-partner and founder of GGV Capital.
That's correct.
Placed in the Bay Area, right?
Right, in Silicon Valley.
Absolutely. You're the venture capitalist here. There's a lot of emerging technology coming up. What do you see that looks promising to your objectives?
It's interesting. One of the things we talked about today is the power of the platform, right? How smart developers always tend to take platforms and create great things with it. And so that's what we're really looking for, some of the creative new ideas that are going to kind of exploit the new platforms that are coming out, whether it's the Connect or 3D or the mobile side, I think, or tablet side.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of new technologies and applications that will kind of really expand the market for those devices.
Because how much does the economic condition play? Because people have said, well, economy's not good, VCs aren't funding as much. Is that true from your position?
It's not true from where I see it. I mean, we are actively investing. I think most of our peers are actively investing. We're all looking for great new innovation and ideas. I think if you take a look at all our companies are hiring, whether it's in the Bay Area or Boston or Seattle or
Tell me
Midwest.
some of your companies, by the way.
So we're in a lot of gaming consumer companies, so companies like Wild Tangent, companies like Turbine, Xfire, or companies that we invested in. We're also investors in companies like Glue Mobile, which make mobile games. We're investors in
company, by the way.
Investors in Pandora. So if you, download
Oakland.
Pandora, enjoy the app. So those are some of the types of companies we invest in.
And for the next round of investing, someone were listening to this and they were approaching you. What should they come to you with? If they were...
So we spent a lot of time, I think the last 10 years was really consumer technology, consumer innovation. I think the next 10 are going to be much more enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
You think about the young graduates coming out of college who are used to Facebook and Google. They're going to go into the workforce and all of a sudden they're going to see a green screen. They're going to say, what do I do with that?
Yep.
A lot of the enterprise technologies are still very antiquated. So I think there's going to be a huge upgrade in enterprise technology over the next 10 years as well, not just the consumer technology.
What's your website?
ggvc.com.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Don Wardile, you're Director of U.S. Advertising and Ad Sales for Microsoft. Hey, thanks for your time.
You're very welcome.
For my viewers who are familiar with the Xbox, or maybe slightly so, tell them about the ad aspect of Xbox and which games on Xbox are more amenable to ads and which aren't. Where are we in this?
There's two ways to look at it. There's the in-game aspect where you actually put your brand in a game, and then there's what we focus more on, which is the around game aspect. And any advertiser can be associated with the around game aspect. We had Axe was associated with one of our music titles.
Right.
It depends on what marketing message the partners want to get out, and then we can work with them to determine which types of game or which game title they should best be associated with. When we're talking about the in-game aspect, it really does have to be an element of a value exchange or adding some element to the game. So an example of that is Energizer was in our Alan Wake game.
Right.
That game was about light and about flashlights, where you needed batteries to run flashlights. It was a perfect integration into that game where you would have to pick up Energizer batteries in order to power your flashlight and keep the bad guys away from you, or keep them away from you long enough to where you could run around them or shoot them.
Is that to say you get involved in the design of games in some cases?
So in the in-game aspect, you are getting involved in the design of games. And you may be involved in something like the storyline of the game or the actual gameplay itself. So from the perspective of Energizer, they were involved in the gameplay itself. Other advertisers are sometimes involved in the storyline. How does brand X move the storyline forward? So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. There's no really right or wrong answer as to what types of games marketers or advertisers should be connected with. It really is about what is the message you want to get out to your consumers, and allowing us to help you find the right title.
You said on the panel, and I don't want to maybe I misunderstood, that it was hard sometimes to get advertisers to understand the metric that they are buying into. Is that, or did I read that correctly? Am I wrong?
So that was, I think, one of the other panel members talked about the metrics, right? I deal in the old school metrics of cost per thousand, impressions, click-through rates, and with that becomes an engagement level.
It's funny how it's become old over like just 4 years, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I think when you're talking about gaming, we can talk about the marketing that is going to go around gaming, or how many units we think we might sell of a game, and make that a part of the engagement that you might get. But that's really for the in-game aspect of things. For the around-game aspect of things, keep in mind the game is already out there, so you already know how popular it is.
Right.
Now it's about how many impressions we're using in order to drive people to do some additional function with that game. For a Dance Central game like that, if we were to create a promotion with a partner, maybe we would create some sort of play and win, where we just want users to go play that game. It's brought to you by an advertiser, by one of our partners, and you may win some points for that. You may win some Microsoft points for participating.
Is that on the horizon, by the way?
We're doing that right now.
Wow.
We're doing that right now. So it's all in how we create the opportunity.
When is it going to be out, released?
Dance Central?
Yeah.
Oh, it's out. It came out in November. It's an incredibly popular game. We haven't done any advertising programs around it yet, but that's just an example of the types of things that we could create, and the types of titles that we want to create opportunities for and around.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, so most people don't know that GameStop is more than just a brick and mortar retailer. We're probably one of the largest online retailers of games, and we're also increasingly getting into the digital arena through acquisitions and partnerships with companies.
And you are Chris Petrovich,
Yes,
Senior Vice President of
Digital Ventures at GameStop. That's right. So we see the migration of users to other platforms for playing games. Obviously, the console market is still very vibrant. It's predicted to be $40 billion of a $70 billion market by 2014. So we're very happy being in that space.
In the panel, you made a comment that made me think that we're not going to see a primarily digitally downloaded game environment for a long time. Am I correct in my interpretation of what you said?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is, people have been talking for a long time about physical product being disintermediated by full game downloads on the console. And what we're seeing is a different evolution, which is incremental digital content being made available either as a standalone game or as episodic content or add-on content that's tied to a physical product.
Is that because of the cultural, for want of a better term, slowness of people to catch up with technology? In other words, I mean, as a game developer myself, we make the game and we think people are going to get the technology. We find out that's not the case.
Yeah, I think it's a number of things that you can't really pin down to one answer. I think part of it is consumer preferences for still wanting something tactile.
Excellent point.
The communal experience associated with going into stores and talking with like-minded people who can give you recommendations on games. The fact that you own the game and can do with it what you'd like, lend it, play it at a friend's house, turn it in as a used game to buy more new games, and those options are just not as available for a fully downloaded product on the console. Not to mention technological barriers with bandwidth throughput, storage barriers on your hard drive of your console, and the fact that those consoles are now becoming more multi-purpose machines.
Having said, do you have a template for the kind of acquisitions you're looking for? Having said, being even done it all the way down to technical performance levels, do you put up that template and say, all right, this is a good candidate for acquisition, this isn't?
Yeah, I think we do. I mean, our hope and our vision is to become, in the digital world, what we are in the retail world, which is that trusted distributor, retailer, seller, and curator of games. So whether you're on a PC, whether you're on a smartphone, a tablet, or a connected living room device, we want to be that trusted destination that people go to.
If you do that, you have to figure out a way to digitally recreate the people that work in San Francisco. I'm giving an online plug because they know their stuff.
Right.
They're great. They're attentive. And then they make the experience of buying at the bricks and mortar level really great.
And I think so thank you for that. I think what we pride ourselves on is helping what we call the assisted sell. Is that a lot of people, even the most educated and savvy gamers, still want to come in and ask questions, be directed to things that they may not know about. And I feel like, through technology and the algorithms, recommendation engines, and even live help, you can actually do that. And leveraging our sales force, around the world that actually does that in their day jobs. Kind of bottling that and sprinkling that fairy dust in the digital world is something we want to do well. And Amazon does it well with recommendations. Netflix does it well with recommendations. It's a reason why recommendations beyond just friends and social is still important, because there's things that you may like that your friends may not like. But if people pick up buying and viewing and playing habits, they can render you things that they think you'll like. And I think that's what's missing today.
Chris, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mike.